welcome back to another episode of Cults. It seems we're doing back-to-back days of this. I am, of course, your GM, Matihi, and tonight joining with me we have three of our other players. We have Ghost playing Terry, Aki playing Emil, and Rogue playing our favorite, Daniel. And as per usual with Cult, if you haven't seen the previous episodes, I strongly suggest that you watch them. And as always, especially with these particular characters, viewer discretion is advised, as there will be some maybe heavy themes dealt with. But let's get into it. As Daniel sits up late at night watching the television, he scans by a news channel. Somewhere in the city, a protest has broken out because of police brutality. The police have doubled down their efforts and continue to beat the protesters. Protesters break municipal buildings in response, setting alight a precinct in Upper San Francisco's Upper San Francisco. Ignore the downtown area. Next on the news is a dog who tried to save a child, actually from a hole. The parents were alerted by the scruffy mixed breed pup to their child who fell down into a freak hole that opened up. Unfortunately, the dog fell down the hole as well, getting stuck along with the child. The fire department is working on ways to get the two out. The piece of news Daniel pays careful attention to is the discovery of one Wendy McCready. That's 1-year-old blonde woman who was found strangled in a creek the night before. She had on no shoes and there was no sign of sexual assault, authorities say. They are stumped as to the nature of the incident and there are currently no witnesses to the murder. Daniel recognizes the ligature marks, the hair, the body. The face didn't matter. But he knew it was the woman from the other day. And Terry and Emil depart from the Order Bosk's hideout. Terry has instructions from the Order members on what he must do to get his child back. It's up to Terry on how he will proceed. Emil has watched all this happen, unsure of what exactly to do. He does not want Terry to enact the plan to get his kid back and wants to rescue the children that they have. The two had met Viv on their walk out of the hideout, and she'd asked to come to Terry's place. So, unless anyone has anything to do, we are going to fast forward a couple days to have everything almost caught up to the current timeline. This will be the same, I'd say the day before Kane's performance at the Anthem Theater. Of course, if there's anything players like to do, I feel like Terry might be a good one to look at. What's Terry doing?
So, after everything with the Order of Bask and having Viv over for coffee, I'm sure, Terry would have started to come together with an idea on how to go about his mission, what the Order of Bask requested him to do. One question I would have is, would I have the address for Daniel?
Well, that is up to Daniel and Terry. Daniel, do you think Terry would have your address?
I think we exchanged phone numbers, did we?
I believe we did. When we were at the dog bar thing.
Yeah, I don't know if we did the address thing or not.
If not, You
Should
can
we
make
roll for
you can make an investigate check to try and find out where he lives, Terry.
Yes.
Go ahead. Perfect. So you can ask, you can find out where he lives. Yes.
So, upon figuring that out, I would probably over the next few days or next couple of days during the time skip, Terry would spend his time parking a little ways off, but scoping out. It's an apartment that Daniel lives in, or is it a house?
It is an apartment. It's kind of one of those houses that have three different complexes inside.
Yeah, Terry would try to remain a little bit away, maybe even go purchase some binoculars, and would try to establish a pattern of when Daniel's there, face there, when Daniel leaves. Try to figure things out as best as he can for a routine.
So Daniel, over these next few days, before Kane's performance, the events that happened last game, that was approximately the same day as today. So, Anna Lintor, the young girl who basically got her throat burned out by acid and then taken away. This is the evening of that day. But what has Daniel been up to in general?
He has been doing some writing, but also he's probably been trying to establish, getting his little girl into a normal routine or some kind of school. He also does frequently get that babysitter to watch over his daughter when he leaves, because he does leave pretty much at least every other night to go watch certain people or try to keep up on his son and watch him from a distance as well.
So this would most likely be a day that you're home, as the next night is actually Kane's first big concert at the Anthem Theater, which you'd know about. Yaritza said that she didn't need you for that evening and you were free to do whatever you wanted.
So he would, if he was free, he would get a babysitter to watch over his daughter and probably go out for a drive.
On the night of the concert or the night before, which would be this day, currently?
The night before.
Alright. Daniel, actually, when we do that, we'll go to, Emil. What has Emil been up to the last couple days?
Well, he had a debt to pay, so at some point within those days, between there, he would have found someone suitable to sacrifice, basically. Pretty much waiting until someone pulled a gun on him or something, going through some bad areas, kind of not quite instigating it, but someone he views as being quite sinister in one way or another. He'll try to find somebody.
Sure. So, Emil, as probably it's after you leave Terry and Vivian behind with the two of them taking their time to go back, maybe to Terry's place, maybe to her place, and she lived closer. Really up to Terry. But there's not too many people out on the streets currently. But you would eventually find someone who does look fairly shifty. He's got a hood over his head. He's got his hands in the front of his pockets. Looks like there's something in there, and he's got shifty eyes, of course. And as you pass by, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
You know, you might be friendly, but you're still fairly intimidating. So he doesn't seem to pursue you, but he would keep going. But he looks fairly off.
Yeah, Emil, I don't know if this would change anything, but Emil, by this point, this late, you know, he's not too worried about anyone seeing him. So he's got a joint he'd be smoking as he walks past. But, he kind of, turns and sees the guy, watches where he's going, and he's, not trying to be overly subtle. He's not trying to get the guy's attention either, but he's not necessarily, you know, skulking or anything. He's just heading the same direction, kind of. It'll give him a pretty good breadth,
And he goes down an alleyway, and he doesn't seem to notice you. He seems fairly absorbed in whatever he's doing. Eventually, he comes by a dumpster and kind of crouches down beside it. And he seems to take out what looks like kind of a kit, something to bind his arm with, a small spoon. Looks to be drugs in a baggie, and of course a needle that you assume has been used before. And you see he leans down, and as he's going about it, do you do anything or just watch?
Yeah, Emil thinks about it. He's kind of racking his brain over it. Is this guy, I mean, he's on drugs. It's like, well, shit, maybe he's not that bad of a guy, though. Maybe he's just in a bad place. And eventually, he whittles his own morale down to, well, it's gonna be somebody, and hopefully this one won't be a bad one to choose. Vaguely, as he will go forward to act, kind of approaching the guy. Kind of starting to slowly pull, you know, kind of to speak to that voice in a sense of, hey man, this is it, go ahead.
And you can hear it, and it chuckles a bit. Emilius, this one is all yours.
Yeah, there's a tinge within Emil's heart as he realizes that this is how it was always going to be. He has no choice. It's better than a woman or a child for whatever fucked up reasoning he manages to draw forward. This is it. And as he approaches the guy, rather silently despite his size, he begins to conjure up that power, that might within himself from the curse, from the pact. And he channels it towards this guy with all intent of lethality.
You see he drops the needle, the spoon on the ground. He starts stumbling backwards in panic. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is that? He looks to be just crawling backwards, trying to get away from you.
I'm sorry, man. This is how it's gotta be.
What the fuck, man?
He channels the force of that magic into these dark tendrils of shadow as he lurches them towards the man's neck.
And they swiftly wrap around his neck and start to choke him, and you can hear the sputtering and just trying to breathe, grasp for air. You see his nails digging into the black tendrils that come from your own hand. He's trying to pull him off. You see that of horror in his eyes as He struggles against it.
Emil, at the start, he steels himself quite hard, keeping his jaw grit and tight. But as the man struggles, as his breath begins to wane, he slowly begins to weep, tears flooding down past his sunglasses into his beard, as he just begins to sob as the man's last breath escapes him.
Make me a keep it together check there, Emil. As this happens, you find yourself sobbing. Your vision, the limited vision that you have out of your one eye is obscured by the tears, and all you can hear is the sounds of him choking, the sound of your sobs, and those wet sobs slowly turn into a wet chewing sound. You feel this kind of metallic irony taste in your mouth, along with something slightly maybe rubbery or slimy going down your throat. And when you open your eyes, you realize it's been a little bit of time. The sun has started to come up, but your entire front is coated in blood. And you're above this man now. Your beard is wet, not just from tears, but from the man below you. Though he does not look like much of a man, at least in the face anymore, as most of the flesh from his nose, his cheeks to his forehead have been devoured. You can see slight bone protruding out and muscle fibers holding his jaw together, as well as his chest now, skin peeled back, much of it underneath your fingernails. I'm gonna have you lose 2 stability there.
Yeah, Emil begins hyperventilating as his vision comes back to, as the reality of the situation overcomes him. Oh man, no, and he looks at his hands, just the terror of what he's really done finally settles in him, and breathes a loud, heavy sigh. Okay, just... And he reaches out again to that voice. Alright, that's it, right? It's done? Even, yeah.
For now, Emilius, but you'll become hungry again, don't worry. As will I.
Emil's eyes kind of go wide. The concept of that, of the idea of hunger for this, craving for this even, growing in him, just draws this pit within his stomach as he begins to retch.
As you vomit on the ground, do you plan on leaving or staying as the sun is slowly coming up?
Yeah, Emil kind of finishes vomiting, kind of wipes his hand, of course, instead smearing blood rather than vomit over his mouth. He'll look for the nearest, if there's a way for him to get home safely, he'll do that, but he's gonna have to try and figure out something for clothes. Is this guy's, maybe he has an undershirt or something he can steal?
He does, but it's coated in blood.
Yeah.
It's starting to congeal.
Yeah, Emil will, he'll try and find something, yeah.
I guess, let me see. Why don't you... Investigation. Maybe observe a situation. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, that sounds good. Alrighty. 12. Yeah. I guess what can I use to my advantage? What can I, what can I like cover up the blood with, or wash it off with?
You remember that you have that compass.
I was thinking the same fucking thing. Yeah, Emil kind of considers it. He's like, well, shit, I need a way out of this, and I can't fuck up here. If someone catches me, his thoughts begin to darken. Alright, okay, alright. He pulls the compass out of his pocket. Okay, show me the way to a place where I don't have to worry about getting caught for my clothes and I can change.
You see the compass points in the direction of what looks to be it just seems like a door, like a metal door that you don't think you saw before in the darkness that sits in the side of a building.
Emil kind of looks around, a bit concerned after the warning about what this thing can do if you don't follow the proper path, as he heads over and opens the door.
And as you open the door, give me one moment.
Oh, I didn't specify change clothes, did I?
You
no.
find yourself in very overwhelming, oppressive city. Smog blocks out what you'd think if there was even a sun. Everything is gray, blacks, and browns. You hear the scuttling from your left and your right, like tiny insects might be crawling around within the walls beside you. As you turn around, you hear the door click, and unfortunately there's no way back as the doors seem to disappear.
Turns, kind of looks around. Is he in a room somewhere, or?
No, you are. It looks like a
in...
city. It looks like you're out.
He's been here before. He knows of Metropolis, I believe, yeah?
Sort of. It's not the same place that you were, though. You don't recognize any of the buildings and the constructs, but you do.
Yeah, we were in a completely different city back then, yeah. Yeah, so Emil kind of looks around. Could I do maybe, let's see, a cult library roll, maybe? As he kind of pulls out his phone, or he probably has a small tablet, actually, with a bunch of this stuff that he saved onto it, to try and sift through the info to figure out right where he is. And actually, first though, he'll check the compass. Has it stopped pointing to a specific thing now?
You see, it's just pointing north, or what you think is north. It just has the directional arrow, no matter which way you turn. But this seems to be the
end of the route. Yeah.
Well, it looks to be just pointing one way, forward.
Okay. Does it, and it doesn't change no matter how much I move?
It does change. It's always pointing the same direction.
Okay. So does it seem to him like this is the end point for where I was supposed to go for that last question, or?
It seems like you'd think you should follow it, because if you don't follow it, bad things could happen.
Yeah, until I'm sure that it definitely doesn't seem positive that this is the spot it wants me to go to. So yeah, he'll start heading there. Well, he'll take out the tablet while he walks and kind of try and figure out where he is or what this place is specifically.
Sure, why don't you roll me your cult library?
I just need my token.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Oh, the fucking sounds, man. Let's see. Oh, at 12. Okay. One question. I guess which dimension is this associated with? Oh, actually, you know what? I'll go with what must I do to protect myself from this. Like, he'll try and look up, try and figure out maybe, like, what's, like, common threats or stuff like that to avoid, or, that kind of thing.
A lot of it's talking about feral creatures or people who may have fallen in here from Elysium. You're not sure where exactly you're getting this information from. It looks like a similar source where you got the information on the Order of Bosk, or at least Bosk itself. You'd know there's quite a few dangers, and if you go looking, or if you stay too long, things might find you that are quite unsavory.
And Emil kind of looks down at that point, and kind of realizes, well, I'm also covered in fucking blood, so it's not good. He continues. He starts to pick up pace at that point. In his mind, well, the best way to get through this is to go quick, get out of here fast, before anything can spot me or smell the blood all over me. But I think I do. Gain thirst for knowledge for that, learning more about a higher plane. So I get one less stress, luckily. As he kind of starts to, okay, I know this, alright, we're safe here. I just gotta go quick, just gotta hurry up. And he kind of shakes his hands a bit and to get the blood off them, so he stops rubbing it on the screen of the tablet. He then shoves it back into his pocket.
And as you're traveling through, we're going to switch back. Give me one moment. I have a ton of different maps. I need to find the right one. Terry, you're scoping out, attempting to see when Daniel has left his place to go inside. Your phone would ping off. There's a live video that's playing attached to the Cult of Moses Instagram. It's a video of Fumi doing a solo on her bass guitar.
Yeah, he takes his eyes off the house for a second, looks at the ping, and is this like a social media post or something?
Yeah, it's like an Instagram live video.
Yeah.
Cult of Moses has gone live.
Yeah, he puts it on mute, but looks it over, sees like if there's like news or something, or what the reason for the ping was.
You see that it's related to a concert that they actually have the next day at the Anthem Theater for people to get tickets and come out.
Yeah, he feels a bit guilty knowing what he's about to do and how it might affect Kane, but he's kind of sighs and looks back at the apartment, smoking a cigarette.
And Daniel, inside the apartment, Kensley, your babysitter, has come over, of course. You have managed to find new schooling for Faith to go into, but tonight is, of course, one of your nights off. Kensley has happily come over to babysit Faith, and Faith has really been taking to Kensley. Faith sits on the floor playing with Mr. Biggs as Kensley, she finishes up kind of in the bathroom and looks to you, Daniel. And Terry, you would know that there's actually someone in the house from you watching, a babysitter. Kensley looks to Daniel. All right, Mr. Whiting, well, I'll be here until you get back.
All right, thank you very much for coming over again. And Daniel's gonna look at. He looks back at Mr. Biggs while he's petting him, and he's been sitting on the couch with Faith, probably going over homework and stuff, and he's gonna look at the dog for a minute because he feels kind of suspicious about the dog for a moment. And is there anything that kind of like when he looks into its eyes or sitting there petting it, because he remembers it dying?
Yeah, you do remember your dog dying. Why don't you make me a see through the illusion check?
Up. There we go.
Interesting. So as you stare at Mr. Biggs, and stare at his big, bulbous eyes that he's looking up at you, every time he breathes, there's a slight grunt. It's slightly labored just because of his squished nose. And you stare at the dog, stare into its eyes, and as you do, kind of behind those eyes, there is a very, very familiar creature with its cheeks and its forehead pulled back. You see that reflection in Mr. Biggs's eyes, but it's not behind his eyes, it's behind you.
And he's not even gonna look. He just like smiles at the dog and kind of smiles at the reflection almost. And he's gonna pat the dog and he says, "You're gonna keep them all safe, aren't you, Mr. Biggs?"
And Mr. Biggs growls and barks a few times. And Faith looks down and says, "What's wrong, Mr. Biggs?"
I don't know, has he been eating okay?
Yeah, I think he's been eating fine. Everything seems to be, polished off and whatnot.
Alright, Daddy better get out of here. And he kneels down next to Faith and pats her on the head. He says, "Can I get a hug, Bumblebee?"
Yeah, quite steady. And
She opens her arms and brings you in for a tight hug.
And he hugs her like kind of an extra long time because he's been thinking about it. He feels himself losing his humanity. It's all beginning to vanish, and he actually thinks about what's going to happen. Hopefully that she would grow up without him and not know the truth about everything, but he knows he's not going to be able to protect her forever, even protect her from himself. So he just holds her for a second and he's like, "I love you, Bumblebee. You know that, right?"
I know, Daddy. I love you too.
Alright. Well, I will see you later.
Okay, bye!
And she gives you a very enthusiastic wave and hurries over to her coloring that she was doing. Kensley gives you a small wave. Mr. Biggs giving you a bark as you head out the door and into your car to troll around in the night.
Yeah, and as he's walking to his car, he just makes sure he's in his bag. He's got his usual hunting gear.
What is in your hunting gear?
He's probably got the wire for choking, of course. What do you call it? The garret?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
No.
or garrote, I don't know.
Garrote. And he's definitely got a pistol. A handkerchief, gloves, binoculars, and things of that sort. And he just pats the bag as he gets into the car, taking one last look at the window and the light. Strange smile on his lips as he drives away.
And you drive away. Terry, you see Daniel's car pull out of the shared driveway. So he backs up into the street and drives on. What do you do from there?
I approach his home.
You approach the home and able to see what floor, the second floor that Daniel's apartment is on. There's only like 3 apartments that are in this building. But you approach the home. Do you approach the front door?
Yeah, he would maybe wait 10-15 minutes and then approach the front door, knock.
Let me just grab you. As you knock on the door, you hear a dog barking very excitedly. And then you hear, it sounds like Faith. Okay, Mr. Banks, okay. And she hurries to the door, opens it up. You see Faith looking up at you, Terry. Oh.
Hi, and he looks down at Faith. Is your dad home, or I was just coming by to hang out for a bit?
No, he's not. And then you see from the back, Kensley, she quickly approaches the door and stops and looks at you. Oh, hi. May I help you?
Oh, hi. I would think I had the wrong house if Faith didn't come up. I'm sorry. I'm Terry. I'm a friend of Mr. Whiting's.
Hi, Terry. And she looks at you for a few moments, blinking, and she shakes her head. No, I'm sorry. Daniel's, not home at the moment.
Oh, I probably should have called first to drop by a bit impromptu. Do you know when he's getting back, or?
I'm assuming in a few hours. He usually likes to go out and do some writing and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I know all about that. He's quite prolific. Are you girlfriend, babysitter?
Babysitter. She tucks a hair behind her ear and rubs her arm. Yeah, babysitting Faith tonight. Hey, Faith, do you mind going to your room and taking Mr. Biggs? You can continue your coloring in there. And she's like, okay. You see her run past, going to the table, grabbing her coloring, and hurrying into her room. She scoops up Mr. Biggs underneath his little tummy and holds him like a football and hurries into her room, saying, we're gonna do coloring together!
Kids are crazy, huh?
Yeah, why don't you come in? I just made coffee.
Oh, sweet. Are you sure it's okay? And he's kind of standing there.
Why don't you make me and influence others there, check, Terry? But you do have I'm gonna say a +2 to this. Yeah, she's like, yeah, just come on in.
Oh, all right. I mean, I'm not gonna turn that down. He comes in. I hadn't really been over here, but Mr. Whiting picked a pretty nice spot.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. And sorry, what was your name again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Terry. He's saying Terry McKinley.
Terry, nice to meet you. Kensley. She takes her hand. It's a little bit clammy, almost nervously, as she shakes her hand.
Nice to meet you, Kensley. He looks around. So, do you stay on this side of town, or?
No, I have my own place, actually. I just come and babysit Faith every so often.
Oh, cool. And he'll have the bag of ice cream put on the table. I just brought over ice cream. I know that Faith likes it, so I was gonna bring some over and just hang out, I guess.
Oh, of course. We can, if you want, we can have it now. I'm sure that Faith would be very excited about ice cream.
Oh, sweet, yeah. I'll go ahead. Where are the bowls? And he kind of looks around.
She points to one of the cupboards. Just in there.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, if you want to go grab her, I can go ahead and get a couple bowls of ice cream ready.
Yeah, she walks to the back, and then she pauses for a moment. You see her put her hand to her forehead, and she kind of rubs her temples, and she turns around. Actually, I don't... I'm sorry. I don't know if it's exactly appropriate to have you over while Mr. Whiting is gone. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I mean, I get it. I understand. Tell you what, I'll just make the ice cream up, if, we can have a bite to eat, and then I'll just leave. It's like I was never here.
She bites her lip a little bit, and then she nods her head. Okay, Faith, there's ice cream. Terry brought some, and Faith busts out of her room. Ice cream? Someone's ice cream.
Yes, and he will go ahead and have a couple bowls of ice cream. I believe she liked Rocky Road, if I remember correctly. Yes, he has Rocky Road ice cream.
Hey, and she hurries over and says, Mr. Beggs, we're gonna have ice cream. Can Mr. Beggs eat ice cream?
I don't know. I think Rocky Road has some chocolate in it. He might get sick.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Beggs.
She looks down and pinches his little doggy cheeks. I'm so sorry. And just kind of jiggles his jowls.
I completely forgot you guys had a dog. I would have brought a treat for him or something, but let me check around and see if I have something. Usually good Brutus, and he's going to root around in his pockets for a dog treat if he might have left one in or something.
I assume so. You have a little dog treat. Mr. Biggs does his little airy just bark yip that he has, and he'll happily take the treat from you. And you scoop out some ice cream into both Faith and Kensley's bowls. Kensley looking apprehensive, but she's going along with it, and Faith very excited about ice cream.
Yeah, and so he'll hand out the bowls, and he'll get himself a glass of water and have some of his own set aside, and just hand those bowls over and just kind of chill out. So, Faith, how have things been? What's new?
They've been good. Daddy got me into a new school. I think it's called
And she thinks for a moment.
It's like Tom York Public School or something. I don't know.
Tom York.
I
Sounds
think
kind of
so.
fancy.
Yeah, I think it's really fancy. I have to wear a uniform when I go, and it's really weird because I've never worn a uniform when I go to schools. And she starts going on a tangent about her uniform that she has to wear at school now.
Yeah, and he's just nodding along the whole time, occasionally looking at Kensley and Mr. Biggs and drinking his water.
And as that happens, we're going to go back to about maybe a day ago or so, with Emil being in Metropolis. So what do you do?
Well, as before, he's going to be following the compass pretty tightly, making sure not to stray at all from the path. He's going to try and keep quiet and move quickly. Not his strong suit in either regard. Although I guess he can stay cool.
Why don't... you just keep hearing different noises coming from the walls. You see what look like giant pustulating centipedes crawling in and out of different tubes. And of course hearing the scuttling sounds.
Talking?
They look to be about the size of your thigh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
with very large pincers on the front of
Emil's going to go ahead and start. He has like his like over jacket type thing, but he has that white undershirt, and which is of course soaked in blood and everything. So he's going to, as he moves, keep moving, keep following the thing, but pull that off and kind of wad it up a bit. And then put his over jacket back on.
And Terry, I'm just gonna put you on here so you can make it act under pressure roll as this is all happening. But Emil, as you're following this path, you're seeing these bugs, and they almost seem to look at you and then scuttle back into different crevices. There looks to be like broken pipes that are jutting out of walls that they crawl in and out of, down different pathways within that are not the pathway you're supposed to go. They're not where the needle is pointing, as it's just winding back and forth. Occasionally, immediately as you take a step, it immediately goes south. So as you're heading forward, the needle spins quickly on a dime to turn backwards. And as this is all happening, as you kind of feel this oppressive energy around you, almost like the city itself is thrumming and pulsating, I want you to make me an act under pressure roll as you're walking.
Alrighty. Interesting. Oh yeah. Excuse me.
So, at one point, there looked to be a group of those creatures that you saw before, the naked, pale, feral things that start to sniff up near you, but they don't come onto your path, it seems. They don't seem to act hostile, but that makes you pause for but a moment, but you're able to keep on the path.
Interesting. Yeah, Emil, there's only a faint pause. Of course, he stays on the path. Never once steps away from it. And is very careful to continue to do so. But as he sees these things that before were quite hostile, actively chase them, almost stops to observe them for a second before he catches himself and keeps his pace, observing his surroundings keenly now.
And as you're walking, there's a door that looks to be at the end of a very long pathway that you see. Red door, looking almost like the entrance of cool old stuff that's there. And as you see this, you take a step forward, the needle of the compass immediately turning backwards. You take one step forward, just too many, not meaning to. This is your first time with it. You weren't quite careful enough.
Turned much quicker than he expected.
And as this happens, you hear what sounds like a scream, this feral scream behind you, as three of these creatures appear out of different alleyways and on all fours start to run at you.
Shit. Yeah, Emil looks to the compass again, seeing the change, and kind of adjusts for it, and he tries his best to figure out a route to go top speed, full sprint, to avoid these things as best possible.
You see it spins back forward, pointing towards the door, and it almost feels like as you're looking at the door, it's getting farther and farther away the more you look at it.
Yeah, at that point he kind of stops for a second, looking back as he hears the growl of the things as they start barreling towards him. And he looks back to the compass and locks his eyes on it. And just starts running forward. Not turning away, just watching the compass, nothing else.
Alright, why don't you make me an act under pressure roll again there, Emil, as they're chasing you down screaming. And you start to hear more and more screams, almost like a cacophony bouncing off of the onyx walls that are surrounding you. But describe how you narrowly make it through this door at the end.
Yeah, with his view locked on the compass, he doesn't see the various threats as they grow around him. He manages to calm himself almost as he kind of understands, okay, I just have to keep following this. Just keep following this, and when I see red at the front, in front of my feet, I just reach for the handle and open it. Just reach for the handle and open it, and soon enough he gets there and he sees the bottom of the door in front of him in his peripheral, and he reaches forward just in time to grab the handle and slam the door shut before the things hit it.
Very much like the, I would say that scene in Pan's Labyrinth with the pale man and the small door. Yeah, they are right on your tail, and you open the door and slam it shut. One of their hands almost gets through, but you slam on it and lean against the door and find yourself back in your shop. Cool stuff.
Sighs. Oh, finally. Okay. We're home, okay. And he slumps down his back against the door. Okay. Breathing for just a moment, just catching his breath. The terror of the situation he was just in, the terror of what he's had to do, everything kind of finally settling in on him again. I need to change, he says as he looks towards his still bloody hands. Start heading upstairs to the apartment, a section of it which is his place.
You head upstairs to your apartment, and you see, actually, usually people don't have house phones anymore, so they don't have answering machines, so you feel your phone buzz in your pocket, chime.
Yeah, Emil, again, kind of picks it up, being careful not to smudge blood all over it, and checks.
As you check on it, you see that it's been a couple days since that incident. You see there's an Instagram live video that's just popped up for the Cult of Moses advertising their concert tomorrow at the Anthem Theater.
Oh shit, man. Oh man.
You've got a number of messages from Henrietta.
Yeah, the weight of that kind of is heavy on him as he heads up, and quickly tosses the filthy clothes and hops in the shower. He has a small Alexa unit while he's in there to call his sister, so that he can actually, do that while showering and everything.
And you use Alexa, of course, to, hopefully she doesn't hear me, to call your sister, Henrietta. She picks up fairly quickly on the phone, and you hear kind of exclaim on the other end, Emil, what happened? I haven't heard from you for days. What's going on?
Hey, sis. Oh, don't worry, it's okay. It's alright. Don't worry.
What happened? I've been trying to reach you. I've been trying to contact you. Cooper's been worried sick too, and
I know, I'm sure. I didn't mean to... just listen, there's... You know how it can be in a big city. There's some not so good people, and, well, a lot of stuff happened, but I'm okay, alright?
okay. As long as you're okay.
Yeah. Have you heard from Terry or any of the other guys lately?
No, I haven't. Why?
Damn it. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I think Terry might have had some trouble too. I don't know. I gotta talk to him.
Oh, right. When are you coming over, Emil?
Let me see. You think it might be okay to wait till tomorrow? I might have some trouble tonight.
Yeah, that's...
I want to make sure this is all...
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine.
Cool. Thanks, sis.
Yeah, of course. I'm just glad you're okay.
Yeah, me too. Oh, man.
She hangs up the phone, leaving you in the silence in your shower.
Emil relaxes, orders his device to put on Black Sabbath, his old calming, relaxing tune, and spends probably a good hour in the shower scrubbing at the blood before he goes and retrieves a bottle of alcohol to blend with some salt water to break it down and get it off him. Kind of sting against some of the roughed up spots that he scraped along his journey up to this point. Finally, he gets out of the shower, dries off. Alright, okay. Everything's gonna be alright. Fuck, I'm tired, man. And he reaches over and grabs a joint and takes a big hit off of it before calling Terry.
Alright, well, we're gonna move to another scene with Daniel.
Oh, no.
So, Daniel, tell me what you've been doing this slightly rainy evening.
Daniel's been driving down the road looking for any blonde females, maybe in a store or walking.
Yeah, there do seem to be some women who are out and about. You see I'd say actually in a... Oh. One sec. Let's see. And she had just gotten off the phone with someone. You see a woman exiting a looks like a 7-Eleven store. She's got kind of reddish blonde hair. She has stress lines on her face. She looks to just have clicked off her phone, and she pushes her hair back away from her forehead and starts to make her way down the rainy streets, pulling the collar of her coat up around her neck.
And while he's driving and following her, he's just going to watch her for a little while and make sure she's alone, and make sure she's not too suspicious of anything, kind of calm and, like drug addicts and stuff like that would be sketchy, or drug dealers. They'd be watching their back, maybe somebody that's relaxed or something going,
She kind of goes into, well, she's talking on her phone a few times, and you see she does make some kind of wild hand gestures, and then kind of hangs up her phone very angrily, shoving it into her pocket. But she doesn't seem overly stressed out or anything of the sort. She doesn't seem to be looking over her shoulder too much. It's mostly that she's focusing on her phone.
And he's going to sit there for a little while in his car, and he's going to look for the phone number of Wendy McCready if he can find.
Wendy McCready.
If he can find the phone number or the address would be even better.
Oh, why don't you make me an investigate check as you're trying to search it up? Yeah, you can ask 2 questions. I'm assuming one of them is, where does she live?
Yeah.
You find her
Where does she
address. Like, you search her on Facebook, and she has a fairly open profile, and you kind of cross-reference some things. She had an event, which was a housewarming a few months ago, so it does give her address.
Do I find out if, can I find out maybe like if she lived with somebody perhaps? If she was married?
She does look to be a single woman who does live alone. Well, did live alone, I should say.
Okay. If the girl is going to sit there for a while, Daniel will get up and he'll kind of walk by her.
Yeah, you walk
See
by her.
if-
Go ahead.
He'll even say hi to her as he's passing by. It's raining, you said?
Yeah, it's slightly drizzling outside. You walk by her, and she gives you a slight sneer. She's talking on the phone, and you say, "It's okay, honey. I'll be home soon. You don't have to worry. Mommy's gonna be okay. Don't worry. I'll be home soon."
And he turns to her and he says, "Is everything okay? You need a ride or something?"
She looks up at you, glancing, and she frowns slightly and she's like, "No, I can take a bus. Who are you? Do I know you?"
"No, my name's Frank. I was just wondering if you're doing okay. You seemed kind of distraught. Trying to get home to your kid, huh?"
"Yeah, kid and husband trying to get home to." She shakes her head a bit. I'm okay.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well, then I'll leave you alone, okay? And while he's there, he's gonna see if she has any weapons or anything, if he can see that at all while he's there, close to her.
She doesn't look to have any weapons on her, but you can make I guess an investigate check just to, or even, yeah, I'd say an investigate check just to kind of give her a look over. She does have mace on her. You can kind of see it clipped to the side of her purse.
Yeah. Alright. He starts to head back to the car, and when he gets to the car, he thinks about the last time he did it, And the last time he dragged the girl onto the bridge, and he didn't have enough time, and he didn't really want that to happen again. He wants to be able to spend a lot of time with them, you know, because there wasn't enough time last time. So he stops thinking for a while and then starts to search for, does he have the money to buy anything, like a warehouse or anything like that?
You definitely don't have the money on you. It would take probably a few days to get that kind of money from the bank, and you have to get a loan.
Yeah. He remembers, too, last time he was with his son, that they had a perfect place where they could take people and do that kind of thing without anybody hearing.
You could probably find a place.
So he realizes it's going to... Yeah, he realizes it's going to take some time, so that's what he's going to do. He's going to go scout out and try to find some place where he can take somebody.
There's also that book that you have, Daniel.
Yeah, could he find answers in the book? He wonders.
There might be some sort of, maybe a little ritual circle that you could do to transport you somewhere.
Yeah, he's gonna do that. He'll look inside the book.
As you're kind of going through your bag to try and find something, you realize that you forgot your book at home.
Oh, damn it. That's right. And my zip ties.
And your zip ties.
He's gonna close the bag. Kind of aggravated look on his face. He's like, I need to plan these things out more carefully next time. And he starts up the car. Kind of starts to make his way back home.
Perfect. One sec, because we're gonna pan back to Terry. Terry, at this point in the night, Faith has gone on and on and on about, her uniform that she has to wear at school and the new friends that she's excited to meet and the friendship bracelets that she's already planning, but she's starting to yawn. It's starting to get tired. You see her stretch a bit. Kensley even is rubbing her eyes a bit. And Faith looks to both Kensley and Terry. I'm a bit, sleepy. I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I should probably think about, getting out of here myself, I guess. He's kind of just relaxing at a time.
Faith lays on the pillow here, her head down. Did you do anything to that treat, or is it just a regular dog treat, I'm guessing?
I didn't plan on that one.
Alright, so he's just laying there, kind of looking up very pathetically to the group of you. And even Kensley, she's kind of almost slumped over and she springs up a bit, her eyes half-lidded. Oh, Terry, if you don't mind, just closing the door behind you when you leave.
Yeah, it's not a problem. It's okay if we use the bathroom in here real quick.
Yeah, it's just in the back there.
Yeah, so he's gonna go to the bathroom and he'll turn the vent on so it's a bit loud, and he's kind of looking in the mirror. He's got the water running, he splashes some cold water in his face, and he's trying to figure out if he's actually gonna go through with this or not. He's kind of looking at himself, and everything's come full circle. This isn't too much different from when his child was taken. So he's just kind of looking at it, and he feels super torn about all of it, looking in the mirror. But he's also waiting in there because he knows they're close to falling asleep.
You wait for a few minutes. Just to wait it out. And when you eventually feel like maybe they've fallen asleep, as you don't hear anything in the living room, you can come out.
Yeah. He looks and sees in the living room if they've passed out or not.
You see Kensley is kind of slumped over the one side of the couch while Faith is laying on the pillow on another.
The dog.
The dog! He didn't have any ice cream. He's just sitting there looking up at you.
Terry didn't really touch most of his ice cream bowl, and he kind of brings it a bit away. He's looking at the dog, hey. He puts the bowl down.
The dog comes over and looks down at the bowl and very excitedly starts to eat the chocolate ice cream.
Fuck. And he rubs his head and he just walks over and kind of carefully picks up Faith.
And as you pick up Faith, very excitedly, Mr. Biggs had started eating the ice cream, and you hear him start barking at you, and then pauses for a moment. It's a very wispy bark, but it might be enough for the downstairs neighbors to hear. You see he starts retching a little, and then resumes his wispy barking at you.
Yeah, seeing the dog retching, seeing he's only got a moment, he starts to slip towards the door.
And as you slip towards the door, heading there, Daniel, you pull up outside your house, as you could have, you just got home. At the same time, Terry, your phone starts buzzing in your pocket.
Motherfucker, and he's just trying to ignore it for right now. Get the door open. Do I see the car pull up?
As you kind of start to slowly open the door, you do see Daniel's car start to pull up. Daniel, I want you to make me an observe a situation roll as you're pulling up to your house. I'm assuming that you're gonna go... Are you going in straight to grab your stuff and then head back out?
Yeah, he's probably gonna go in and get it and head out.
Alright, make me an observe a situation roll. So you get to ask a question.
Is everything okay?
So, as you're looking towards the house, you turn off the car, and you see, for but a moment, your front door open just a crack. But Terry, this gives you enough time to see that Daniel has pulled up outside as you start making your way out the door. And Emil, you go to voicemail.
Yeah, Emil, curses lightly, concerned about it. He didn't get a chance to talk to Daniel about all this before, so I guess that would be the next person to call.
So Terry, while this is happening, what are you doing?
I mean, he realizes he's fucked if he doesn't get Faith out, because he introduced himself, not thinking all this through. He introduced himself to the babysitter. So he's, fuck. And he's just looking around. Is there fire escape or anything?
There is a back window to the apartment, but it's on the second floor, but there's no fire escape.
How far would it drop?
The usual drop of the second story. I don't know how many feet that is.
They are breaking so many fire codes.
They are. It's a cheapish place.
I know.
I think I would try to. I think he would Terry because he's committed now. So I think Terry would try to get the window open and just hold faith and try to jump out.
As you're trying to jump out the back, you're kind of running. Daniel, you see the door open slightly and then close. And you hear from inside the raspy little barkings of Mr. Biggs, but also your phone starts ringing.
And Daniel looks at the light of inside and hears the barking. Kind of question forms on his face for a moment. He straightens his glasses and he starts to open up his bag and reach for the gun, and then he hears the phone go off. So he takes the phone and looks to see who's called.
You see that it's Emil calling.
And he wonders for a second, why would he be calling me? But he does grab the pistol, and he's just going to put it in his belt as he gets out of the car, and he is going to answer. He closes the car door and locks it. So he's probably facing away from the place as he answers the phone.
Yeah, Emil kind of bursts in quickly. Hey, man. Hey, Daniel. Are you doing okay, man?
Hey, yeah. What's going on?
Yeah. A lot of things, man. I was back in Metropolis for like a couple days. Have you seen Terry, man? Do you know if he's around? Is Faith all right?
Yeah. And then he turns, looks towards the door. Why wouldn't she be all right?
Listen, man. Listen. It's not Terry's fault, but hey, just keep an eye on Faith, okay? The Order of Bosk, they're like, magic dudes, I guess. I don't know, fucking, like, dark wizards or some shit. They want Faith, right? So just keep an eye on them, alright? They have Terry's kid, man. I'm gonna try and, find him, okay? Just keep an eye out. Don't do anything rash, though, okay? Please, man. Just be careful.
Hey, what the fuck are you talking about, Emil?
Listen, man, it's a long fucking story, but I've literally just been running for like 2 days and I'm super fucking tired, so I just need to, and you hear the long drag of him pulling on a joint. Oh, I need to find Terry. Just keep an eye on Faith for me, okay? Alright, and he hangs up, and he's gonna call Uber, I assume, would be his best bet as he starts heading towards Terry's apartment.
Sure. So you start heading towards Terry's apartment, but Daniel, you start hurrying towards your own apartment door. Terry, this has afforded you enough time. As you're running to the back to try and scramble out the window, tuck and roll, aim for the bushes, make me an act under pressure roll.
God, if you brain this fucking girl on the ground.
More likely to fuck up and fall down the house. That's what I've expected.
Oh, no.
Broken leg?
Make me an endure injury roll there with a -2. So, as you quickly pull up the window jump out of it. Trying to tuck and roll, you land awkwardly on your leg, twisting it. Unfortunately, as you kind of land, Faith tumbles out of your arms, and you hear, it just sounds like a bit of a crunch, almost.
From me or from Faith?
From Faith.
Oh shit. Yeah, Terry hobbles over and checks if she's still breathing.
You check to see if she's still breathing. Her head had landed on what looks like a protruding rock in these back streets of Daniel's apartment building. And jumping from that high and landing, it was pretty hard. You can see that blood is just starting to spill out onto the ground from the head wound that she now has.
So he's gonna... and he's gonna pick her up and he's gonna try to get to his car.
Daniel, you head inside your apartment. You don't see Terry or Faith in there, of course, but you do see Kensley. She's slumped over the couch. She looks to be completely passed out. And you see Mr. Biggs. He's lying on the ground in the middle of the floor. You see vomit that looks kind of a darkish brown mixed with red all around him. You see he's on his side and he's just twitching and letting out slightly raspy barks as he twitches and rasps. And he tries to pull himself over to you as you come in the door, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel busts in because of Emil's warning about wizards looking for his daughter. He did have the gun in his hand at this point, and he kind of busts through the door with the gun, looking around frantically in the room. And when he sees the dog and Kensley passed out, his anger starts to course through him, and he charges through the house and starts to look around in the bedrooms and stuff like that, trying to search for her, and even shouts her name. Faith! Faith, where are you?
From the... Actually, make me a... Make me an observe a situation roll there, Daniel. You see, you don't even have to search through your windows or search through the rooms. Your eyes go straight to the back of the living room and you see there's a window that's open. And from the streets below, there's some, car horns and such in the distance, and distant sirens and whatnot. But you do hear, oh, fuck!
He's gonna run to the window.
And Terry, as you scoop up Faith into your arms, you see a shadow from above, and you see Daniel looking out the window, the gun in his hand. Daniel, you look down, you see a shadowy figure that's not very well lit down there, holding a smaller figure in its arms.
Oh my god.
I mean, it goes without saying that I'm out. I'm going to wherever my car is.
You see the figure to start sprinting. It darts immediately right and just starts running with the figure in its arms.
Daniel shouts, "You motherfucker!" and points the gun, but then he hesitates for a moment because he knows that Faith is in his arms. And he says, shit. And then he is going to try to jump out the same window.
Alright, I'd like you both to make me act under pressure rolls as this is happening.
Oh, baby.
Meanwhile, in an Uber.
And Emil's just in an Uber.
On the way to Terry's apartment.
Make me endure injury with a -2 there, Daniel.
Oh, do I have something for injuries?
I don't know if you have something for injuries.
Yeah, I thought I had something. Let me check real quick.
We have Hunter, but that doesn't count as this.
Oh, maybe I didn't get it. It's like hardened or something.
Don't think you have hardened.
Okay. Endure injury -2.
Mm-hmm. The gun tumbles out of your hands somewhere into the bushes as you land hard, also twisting your leg as you do. Kind of stub your toe, but you don't, hit that rock that was there. But as you stand up, very on shaky legs, you see there's that rock that's in the back area of your apartment, and you see it looks to be covered in blood.
And he sees the blood, and he forgets the gun at that moment if it's too difficult to find, and just starts charging for the car.
Terry, even with your leg, you're making good time, and you're able to get to your car as Daniel has jumped out of his window.
Yeah, so I quickly get my door open, put Faith in the front seat, turn the car on, and I'm out if I can be.
One sec. That's not what I wanted. That's fine.
Not stopping for anything for a little bit until I'm away from the house.
Alright, so this is all act under pressure rolls, because you're trying to fumble with your keys right now, getting into your car and trying to start it up, as Daniel is running towards you. So again, make me act under pressure rolls, both of you. Oh my god. Daniel?
Oh, I was muted. Emil will be calling Terry a few more times.
Terry, you're just feeling your phone buzz and buzz and buzz.
Oh, fuck him. Now's not the time.
So you get into your car, you're fumbling around with your keys, and the first key that you get, you enter into the ignition, and it just fires up. Daniel, you're trying and struggling to run to chase the figure that's holding your daughter, and you see bits of blood that are scattered about the ground. You stumble a few times, but you see the car roar to life, and as it does so, as it's peeling out, make me
He's seen Terry's car
he has
a lot
seen
of
Terry's
times.
car.
He's ridden in it.
He's rode in my car. He knows my car.
Yeah.
You definitely
He's been in it.
know that this is Terry's car peeling.
Do I see his face?
You don't see his face because it just starts just rocketing away. You're seeing the back end of the car.
Yes, yeah. He stops in the middle of the street and just roars, yells really loud. You're fucking dead! And stares at his car as he's going away. And, that's probably it for him. He's going to head back inside and start grabbing some weapons and stuff.
Oh shit.
And maybe the book.
Yes.
Oh shit. You do know that Emil was looking for Terry.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And he he had just called you about it.
Yeah. He's enraged at the moment, though, so he is grabbing weapons, and he hasn't called Emil back just yet.
Yeah, then Emil, unknowing the situation, heads towards Terry's apartment.
You head towards his apartment there. I'm guessing you don't have a key to his apartment at all?
No. He's heading there, and he's mostly just there to check if Terry's there. If not, then he's gonna. Oh, you know what? He knows Vivian would hang out with him, so he'll call Vivian after he knocks on the door for a while and realizes that nobody's there. I assume he hears the roof.
Yeah.
I would have asked Vivian if she could look over my apartment actually for a little while.
Oh, perfect. So you don't hear, well, you hear Brutus start to kind of growl a bit gruffly, but nothing too extreme. And you hear a female voice, of course, on the other side saying, it's okay, Brutus, shh. And you see, very carefully poking her head out of the doorway, there's a chain that kind of holds the door closed. You see Vivian's face. She's fairly surprised to see you and says, Emil!
Oh, hey, Viv. He kind of looks as if to check the address one more time and then realizes, like, oh yeah, I forgot you two were hanging out. Hey, have you seen Terry? By any chance, you know where he went?
No,
Is he here?
said he was just going out to get some nighttime shots. Why?
Nothing too crazy. He's just wrapped up in some stuff. I want to make sure everything's okay.
What do you mean wrapped up in some stuff?
Don't worry.
Emil, don't be fucking vague with me.
It's a long story. It has some stuff to do with his ex.
It's bullshit. I don't need you... Ugh. She puts her head on our hands. I don't need you coddling me or anything. Emil.
Yeah, and Emil kind of sighs. He's heard that before, and he knows it too. I'm sorry, alright? But, I mean, it really is a lot. I mean, it's like...
It's always a lot, isn't it?
Okay. Just trust me, alright? Yeah, do you know where he went? Anywhere specific?
No, I don't know where he fucking went, okay? He said he was doing some nighttime shots, and I said I'd take care of his dog.
Okay. Damn it. Alright, well, I'm gonna I'll have to go and check in with Daniel, I guess. Alright, you stay safe, Viv, okay?
Yeah. You too, Emil.
I'm sorry, Viv. I mean...
Emil, you feel your phone vibrate in your pocket.
Oh, yeah. Emil picks it up. Hello? Hey, Daniel, that you? What's up?
Fucking Terry just drove away with my daughter.
What? No. I thought you were... He got her? Like, how?
I guess he drugged everyone in my apartment.
Emil's eyes go wide. No fucking way. He did. He could.
He killed my dog.
Oh my god, no. Fuck. Alright, shit. You have a car, right, man?
Yeah.
Daniel, come on.
You know where he is?
Okay, I know where he'll go, though. Come pick me up, it's on the way. I'm at Terry's place.
Where is that?
And he'll shoot off the address real quick. Just be quick, man. We don't have a long time. We gotta get there fast.
And then he hangs up.
So So are you going to pick up Emil, Daniel?
I think he has to if he knows where he's going to be. And I mean, he does grab the book. He's got several weapons laid out. Some body armor. Probably just a bulletproof vest.
And
he looks over at the book.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks about it for a second. If there's some way to track him, or anything, any type of ritual that might help.
You're going through the rituals, and they all take some time. Is the only thing to enact, because you have to draw the symbols. You have to get the proper items.
Yeah. So he takes the book and puts it in his jacket for now, and grabs the weapons. Probably the weapons include maybe a gun, a rifle, and a pistol, and a rifle, and a knife, a big, nasty knife.
Perfect.
And then he heads to the car.
Yeah, Emil, in the meanwhile, is trying to consider, does he think that there's no way that he could, wait, if this is on the way, is there any chance Terry would have to pass through here?
To his, path through the apartment?
To get to would he have to go past his apartment and stuff to get to the Order of Bosk's headquarters?
He could take a detour around it, but it's it's within, passing by maybe 4 blocks or so, but he's got a head start.
Yeah, but Emil's closer, yeah?
Only slightly, but yeah. But you're on foot, too.
Would he be able to, cut him off so that he'd be able to see Terry pass, or?
Why don't you... Let's see.
There is another way. I don't know if he wants to do it. He's actually gonna kind of look to the compass again and, look to his phone, and he's gonna text Daniel the address of the Order of Bosk's headquarters. And say, meet me here as quick as you can. And then he is going to take out the compass, and he's going to say very specifically, take me to a spot where I'll be able to stop Terry and save Faith. Quickly. And safely.
It just continues you look at it, and the arrow just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. It's not pointing to anywhere specific.
Damn it. Okay. Take me to a place where I can stop Terry from handing Faith over, maybe.
It points north, and it points through your bathroom door. The arrow is pointing towards your bathroom door. Yes.
My bathroom door? I'm
sorry.
at Terry's place.
Terry's.
I'm outside of Terry's place.
Sorry, I forgot. You're not in your own house. I'd say behind you. It points behind you to kind of like the, the staircase doorway.
Yeah, Emil starts bolting, following the thing, being careful this time to not overstep.
Of course, you find yourself back in Metropolis, opening that door, the scuttling and the bugs skittering around.
There's a faint grin on his face this time as he feels like, all right, I got this. This is going to work this time. Let's go. And he just starts booking it after the compass.
You start running, and at that time, so Terry, in your car, I'm guessing you're speeding your way to the Order of Boss.
Yes, absolutely.
Describe what's going on with you.
Well, after he had immediately cleared the block that Daniel and him almost collided, he shakily got a cigarette out, lit it up. He buckled himself and Faith in on the driver's seat side, and he smokes a cigarette, and he starts to crack. Leaning forward on the steering wheel, laughing because he made it. He's got what he needs. He's finally gonna get his son. Oh shit! He looks over, Faith bleeding, and he again leans forward on the pedal more. He's just, regardless of all, he's going for it.
All right. Daniel, as you're speeding, you get the address from Emil to meet you at the Order of Boss location. As you're driving, I want you to make me an act under pressure roll, but let me just bring you, I'm just going to bring you to the actual place.
Who did you want to make a roll?
Daniel. Actually, Daniel and all three of you, because why not?
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense, yeah.
And Terry. Perfect. So, as you're all trying to get there in your own methods, Terry, you arrive first, pulling in to the driveway near where the Order of Bosk is. There's no noise from the back seat at all.
Yeah, he looks around real quick, puts the car in park, turns it off, gets out, and works to kind of get Faith, grab her, and throw her over his shoulder. He'll check again to see if she's still breathing.
You check to see if she's breathing. It's very, very shallow, but more and more blood is spilt out into your car, running down. And this is a perfect time for a visit from a certain lovely lady. So you feel a hand on your shoulder and whisper in your ear, "Come on, Terry. Hurry."
I'm going. He puts the cigarette in his mouth and he starts rushing towards the building.
You gotta go quick. She's gonna die. She's gonna die really soon, Terry.
I know. They can probably fix her.
Let's hope so.
And he hurries towards the door.
And you hurry towards the door, banging on it, and as you do so, Quentin opens up the door and he looks at you with a smile, then looks down at the girl in your arms, a bit bewildered, and says, "What is this?"
Fucking trade. What do you think?
She looks like she's dead or dying, Terry. What did you do?
There were complications, alright? Things happened I didn't expect. She got hurt. I had to jump out a second-story window. Can you keep her alive?
We will see. Come in. He opens the door and holds it open, gesturing for you to follow inside.
I should let you know. He comes in. Crazy fucking dad's after me, so...
See, he frowns and shakes his head. I thought you were a lot cleaner than this, Terry.
I'm a fucking photographer, not a kidnapper.
Looks like you proved everyone wrong at this point.
Whatever. steps in. We'll go wherever they bid him to go with the kid.
And they escort you into another area. It almost looks like a... Oh, let me just drag over here. Almost looks like a kind of a cocktail lounge. There are people inside who are smoking cigars or leaning back. They don't seem at all fazed when you come in and enter. Quentin gestures to one of the gentlemen. He takes his arm, very sweeping motion, brushes everything off of the coffee table, and allowing you to place Faith down.
And he does, and takes a couple steps back.
And as this happens, as Faith is lying there, Daniel, you have been speeding and speeding to get to this location. And as you're driving, there is some sort of a lockup almost with your car, as it's not the most new thing. Maybe some sort of malfunction. And you feel, as you're going towards the building, you're maybe like a few buildings away from where it is. You're finding it hard to steer away from the front of the building as your car seems to just careen towards it.
Oh, jeez. He's gonna hit the emergency brake.
You pull the emergency brake and it starts to slow down the car, but it's just not working properly. There's something that's a disconnect in it, and it slows down slightly, but it's still going almost the car first into the building.
Does he have time to roll out of it?
You do, but as you roll out, make me an endure injury roll with a -2. Oh my god! So, you roll out of the car, but you crash. You yourself, your body crashes into another one, and the world goes black for you. Emil, you're running through Metropolis, coming through, and as you see the door on the other end, the one that you're supposed to find, you're finding it a bit easier to travel through. Nothing's quite bothering you. There's things sniffing at you, but you're able to avoid them by following the path directly. And once you get there, and once you open up the door, you see straight in front of you a car coming very quickly towards you. As you open the door to the outside of the building.
Oh, okay, yeah. He is going to try and get out of the way of the car. But actually, fuck. He needs to follow the compass.
You're outside now.
I assume the compass
you're
is pointing
outside
towards...
of Metropolis. Like, you've opened the door out of Metropolis and you're back into Elysium.
Yeah, he's following the compass, but he sees this in front of him, and he kind of looks towards the compass. Is it still pointing his way, or
basically saying that you've arrived?
And this is a place where I can save Faith somehow. Okay. Yeah, Emil will kind of leap out of the way then, trying to dodge the
make me an avoid
fucking
harm
car.
check.
Alrighty. Avoid harm. It's not his best. Oh!
Out of the way, the car careens to the side of this building.
Yeah, so Emil sees the car. There's this split second. And having kind of gotten a bit more almost accustomed to the feeling of the might in his right arm, you know, the kind of changes in his bodies in some senses, he kind of very quickly dips to the side and rolls. The car kind of tumbling at an angle enough to where it kind of goes over him almost, spins just out of the way. Oh, fuck, man. Okay. And he looks to the compass again, looks towards the fucking car and where the car came from. He's looking around for Faith.
You don't see Faith immediately here, but Terry, as you're sitting kind of looking down at Faith, and the others are looking down at her as well, you have a split second to react as you hear something crash through the side of the building towards the group of you. I want you to make me an avoid harm check. But if you want, if you want to try and grab Faith, make me an act under pressure. But this will negate your avoid harm if you want to try and save her, or if you just want to try and save yourself.
Look, I delivered it. That's their problem now. I'm avoiding harm.
You do. You roll out of the way and do avoid the worst of it. The car careens through, crashing into the wall. A few of the members, including Quentin, seem to just be splattered by it, as it was very, very unexpected. Give me one moment. Only 2 seem to be left in the room, and they take out their guns and looked very panicked as suddenly a car has crashed through their window. Terry, as you kind of get up, you don't see Faith on the table as the table is shattered into pieces.
Yeah, and he's looking around and says, oh, fuck. And he's looking around to see if he can see her anywhere, or...
You look over and, Emil, you turn your head as you've avoided kind of all this carnage. You see the hole in the wall where the car was, and you see Terry standing up looking around.
Oh, man. Do I see the other two guys?
They're kind of holding their heads a bit dazed and confused at what just happened.
And I recognize them as Order's Boss guys.
This is definitely the place. Right? You see splattered, someone looks like they're bisected by the car, part of their torso kind of hanging on one of the overturned couches as you hear them breathing and sputtering, coughing up blood.
Well, peace was never an option. Emil calls upon the entity. I'll use one of my 3 uses of bound I rolled beforehand. Alright, man, I'm paying up ahead of time. And we got 2 here, so let's go. And he is just gonna fucking charge at them. Calling upon he's gonna use inner power before he lets the beast take over, though. As he's gonna try and unleash a blast of that dark power towards him.
As you were doing this, Terry, you see Emil barreling in, but Daniel, you blink and you see that you're lying beside a car, your head throbbing. I'm going to give you a -1 to all your rolls, as you seem to have a concussion. But as you're looking up, your car, you can see, has crashed into the side of the building. You see a monstrous form start to enter the building itself, and you do see the jacket of Terry looking around as he looks back at Emil, most likely terrified.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, do you want me to roll that inner power?
Yeah, roll inner power for me as you lash out.
Yeah, he's gonna double whammy. He'll let the thing take over as he just released this blast of this eldritch power. Oh my god.
Who do you count as an opponent?
Oh fuck. Well, definitely anyone that has helped the Order of Bosk, and I think he's in enough of a state where he's giving over power to the entity, so he hasn't really gone out of his way this time to state not Terry. He's after those 2 guys, but Terry might be kind of...
Right. Well, what's Daniel? Yeah.
He's not going out of his
So
way
what's
to
Daniel
avoid.
doing as he sees this going on? As he's stumbling up, your head just pounding, bleeding.
As he's getting up, he's going to, he puts a hand on his head and, feels the blood on his hands and sees the blood, kind of tries to ignore it, just still totally consumed with rage, tunnel vision, and he's going to reach in and see if his gun is still there.
You do have your other gun, yes.
Okay. So he pulls the gun out and starts to walk towards them. If he can see Terry.
You walk towards the building. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's just going to start walking towards the, I guess, the hole in the wall from the car.
Terry, I want you to make me an avoid harm check. As you see this blackened tendril from Emil as he's charging in, you recognize this as he's lashing out at you and the other two who are kind of near you. And you're able to avoid the worst of the harm rolling out of the way while the other two seem to take it in the gut and they start screaming in pain. What do you do, Terry?
I'm fucking out the door. The door we came in, I'm just going to try to get deeper into the facility, I guess. Since it seems like the deal's off. So now it's up to me.
Oh, you're going deeper.
I am.
Oh
no. This is the darkest timeline.
Yeah, Terry
Alright.
actually laughs a bit as he avoids the tentacles. As it's again starting to come on his. Oh shit! And he just busts through the door, kicks it behind him, and just starts running down further in.
You're running down further in just to escape the wrath of Emil that has started to come upon you. And you see Emil that Terry is just running, and if you want, you can make me an observe a situation roll as you come upon this, or you can just keep attacking the people in front of you. It is up to you.
Well, he's making sure these guys are done for first. He can't. They have guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can't risk them
they
acting.
do get to act just before you, as so I want you to make me an avoid harm check as they start shooting at you.
Alrighty. Yeah, he tries his best to dip out of the way. It doesn't do
So
great.
I want you to make me. It'll be an endure injury.
Avoid.
Yeah, but with only a -1 to it, as the bullets are grazing you right now. I'm not gonna have it overwhelming.
Shit.
That's just not. You die. No. Instead, I'm just gonna have it be. I'm just gonna up it to a 10 to 14. I feel like that's more fair. So it does throw you off balance, and you hear that whispering kind of stop as it draws back into you, as it kind of whizzes by your head, and one of the bullets clip your hand. So at the moment, the power is kind of gone.
Yeah, Emil feels the kind of transformation wane as he's going to try and let me see. What are my other abilities? Oh, you know what? This is a fucking place of power if I've ever seen one. He's gonna try and get some help from outside. Enhanced awareness. You focus your senses at a location where the illusion is weak. Roll plus soul. On a success, you have visions about the place and may be able to speak to entities tied to it. I can discern clear details regarding the location, get some other basic impressions, blah blah blah. Potentially, the illusion tears. He's looking for maybe something that he can call on to help him somehow, or maybe something here he can exploit.
You know it was here last time.
Yeah, but that's with them, isn't it? Yeah, shit. I don't want that to come out. Actually, yeah, I better not do this. I'm just gonna... and I can't use inner power right now, or can I?
I'd say yes, because they attacked you. Yeah, there's gunfire. Daniel, you're hearing gunfire inside.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, Emil's gonna try and take these guys out. Reaching out again with his inner power ability. Blasting us towards them.
You see the tentacles, they kind of burst out again, and they go into the men's mouths, diving deep down their throats, and you can hear them attempting to scream as their faces start to turn red, and the tentacles seem to, you can feel this as they...
Oh yeah, it's like his... I like to imagine it's basically like his arm elongates and the fingers turn into these long, black tendrils and shit. Yeah. It's pretty
grody. You feel it dig through flesh and muscle fibers, and you feel the tentacles kind of hook onto something, and seems a bit wet, slimy, and through their mouths you pull out their lower intestine.
Ugh. Yeah, Emil has kind of given over to it a bit. This is him letting loose because he knows the type of shit these guys have done. Right? He knows for a fact the horrors they've unleashed potentially. Is he rips them to pieces as best he can, but the moment he sees them breathe their last, he's gonna start looking.
Daniel, you hear gunfire inside. What are you gonna do?
Daniel's gonna come in with his pistol, leading the way, and if he sees any enemy, he's gonna fire.
You don't see any enemies as you see Emil just disembowel these men through their mouths, pulling their guts up and out through their throats.
And then he shouts, "Emil!"
And Emil turns. For a moment, the tendrils kind of spike upwards like a scorpion's tail towards you before they kind of retract back into his hand, returning to normal. Daniel! Oh, fuck, man. Okay.
Where's Terry? Where's Faith?
And he starts looking around for Faith. I don't know, man. Help me find her.
As the two of you are digging around, attempting to find Faith, just looking, I want you to make me, I guess, observe situation rolls. See how fast.
Alrighty. Let's observe this situation. Oh no. Oh, Emil's too hungry.
Yeah, you're definitely very hungry there.
He called the creature before this, but then that happened. I think if you find it cool, I think he should kind of give into that right now as part of his oath, to
see all this lovely flesh around you right now, Emil.
Yeah, he knows what he has to do. He owes it this much, and if he does this, he's gonna have paid up ahead of time for something good with this many people around. So Daniel, you see him begin to kind of warp. His face becomes almost more gaunt, more kind of angular as his teeth kind of distend and become more spike-like almost as he begins to dig into these things. These people.
Daniel watches him, but he doesn't seem shocked at all by it. He looks and he turns and he starts to look around through the wreckage.
So you look through the
Looking for
wreckage. Yeah, just trying to find her, and you see underneath one of the tires there, you see her little head poking up. It's kind of her upper body, her upper torso and her head. Her arms seem to be trapped underneath the car.
And he frantically starts to try to dig her out. Faith! Daddy's here!
See, she's got a massive head wound, much more extreme than yours, but very briefly, very lidded, she kind of opens her eyes and looks up to you. Daddy, cold.
Yeah, and can he get her out?
It's like she's trapped underneath a car right now. There's a scent of oil or gasoline as it starts to drip into the room.
Would Emil kind of hear that in his...
I'd say at the moment you're a little bit busy on faces, yeah.
Makes sense.
He tries to, and on the moment just tries to pull the car away from her or something with all his strength.
Why don't you make me an act under pressure roll there, Daniel, with a -1 from your concussion.
He pulls and pulls, slips.
You pick up the car slightly and you hear her breathe like a deep breath, but unfortunately it slips and you hear a small scream come from her as the car just crushes her further.
And he shouts, Emil! Emil, help me! She's trapped!
At that point, there's this painful looking snap of his neck towards you, almost, as his body then kind of turns and approaches. He is kind of still almost in this state of this kind of monstrous form, and he's going to use that to his advantage here as he tries to just rip the car up and yank it off of her, pretty much. Just force it over.
I'd say you're able to, just in this form, you're able to pull the car and rip it off her.
Yeah, he sends the thing rolling back onto its hood, away from her, and he kind of leans down. His face still monstrous, of course, but how is she looking?
You both look down at her, and her entire lower half it's not broken, it's crushed.
Daniel realizes that she's not going to make it now.
Emil stops and stares for a moment, distraught.
He gets down, like, next to her and says, it's okay.
Daddy, where's Mr. Biggs? Where's Terry?
He's okay.
Okay.
You're gonna be okay.
Yeah. I want to go to bed. And maybe some Tylenol.
No. Don't sleep. Don't let her go to sleep. Emil seems to enter a panic as he calls upon the tendrils, and he's gonna start dragging the bodies closer. And you see him kind of, still with that kind of strength, he grabs a couple of the bodies and throws them over near you, piling them up. And he kind of walks over. There's this heavy weight to his breaths, ragged. All right. And he's going to use another use of bound to call on the being. All right, I've got like at least 5 or 6 guys here. That's got to count for something, so you got to fix her. Okay?
Daniel, you think that maybe with whatever's possessing Emil in combination with that book that you have, there's a chance that you might be able to help her.
Yeah, he grabs the book. And he says, "This thing."
Sees it.
Emil, you hear the voice in your head. Emilius, use the book with Daniel.
Where did you get that, man? And Emil grabs it from you pretty quickly.
Do you let him, Daniel? Or do you keep a
Alright,
hold of it?
He does. He lets him because he's all holding Faith, trying to console her, and saying, "Yeah, Daddy's here."
And Emil sets the book on the ground. The blood from the bodies begins to pour over, kind of mixing with Faith's, kind of spreading under the book, damping a couple of pages. Alright, pal. This is it. It's you and me from now on. I'll get you the baddies, keep feeding you, but you help me save people, alright? That's how it's gonna be.
Emilius, you know she won't turn out the same afterwards.
Well, we'll figure that out then. I'm saving the kid.
Alright.
Let's do this. And Emil begins hazily flipping through the pages, settling on a ritual as the whispers call out.
And as this is
their
happening,
instructions.
we're going to pan to Terry. And Terry, you are heading down, you're going further and further into this building, away, running from the chaos. You hear gunshots going on, you hear the roar of what you assume is Emil. You hear crashing going on behind you, but soon they're just distant noises as you are just careening down further and further, heading into this almost definitely unfinished tunnel that just seems to stretch on and on.
Yeah, he'll pause at some moment to catch his breath because he's basically been running like non-stop since he got out of his car, it feels like. And he leans as he's looking down the long hall, and oh fuck, it's all fucked now. And he's taking out another cigarette, having lost his in the scuffle. Inhales a couple times, takes a couple deep breaths, and starts to walk briskly, but thinks he's fucked regardless, and just continues to press down the tunnel slowly.
Sure, just give me one moment.
He laughed to himself, thinking how fucked up it's gotten so fast.
It's the rolls, ma'am.
True.
Rolls have been perfect. Like, perfectly.
Oh, perfectly
disturbing.
terrible.
Yeah.
They're so
All signs
apt.
pointing
Yeah,
to Terry,
it's
except for
perv.
you crashing into the fucking building.
Oh my god.
As you're going down through these tunnels, there's a slight offshoot to the left, and you hear what sounds like childlike giggling.
Seems good to me.
Ooh.
Looking for kids. Kids laughing. Why not?
Oh no, don't say that.
Oh, yes.
Ugh.
Yeah, he hears it and stops for a second, and he probably hears it again. It's like, oh, maybe I'm not fucked, huh? He puts the cigarette back in his mouth. Walks that way.
Terry, you head down another long, fairly dark hallway. The lights start to flicker as you make your way down, the sound of childlike laughter increasing as you keep making your way down. Eventually, after pushing open a door, you see behind it, looks like this almost illuminated altar room with this ever-changing picture in the background. It seems to move and sway. The only light coming from looks like this upper area, but it's almost like a blinding light just focused strictly on here. There's almost red LEDs in these short columns that surround the room. And as you step inside, there's just this cacophony of child's laughter from every corner of the room.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk straight in, looking around, see if there's a source or is this coming off the walls. And
It seems to be coming up the walls.
he's gonna kind of walk in nonchalant as if he's supposed to be there or something. Looks at the picture, since that's the thing of note here, that as far as he can tell, other than the invisible children. And he just kind of watches it and sees what the pictures are of.
As you're watching the pictures sway, it just turns into different shapes. Almost like one of those tests that psychiatrists give you, so you see different things within it. You see, of course, two Irish people dancing, and butterflies. And then you see what looks like a woman standing over her baby with a knife. And you hear and feel a touch on your shoulder. They're in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're all in here, Terry.
He looks around and just kind of does that whole kind of doubt look as well. I don't know. All I see is air and children being stabbed by their mothers and nice LED lights. Good bar lights, maybe. Puts a cigarette to his mouth.
And as you say that, as you're smoking, you hear the giggling cease. And then from a corner of the room, you hear, "Hi, Daddy." And from another corner, you hear, "Hi, Daddy." The greetings start increasing, and then from below, crawling around this picture, standing in its silhouette, you see a creature shrouded in black, mostly just the two eyes it has, the large orb staring back at you. "Hi, Daddy."
Oh, hey there, sport. And he is pretty much, again, back to thinking he's fucked. And Jesse, are any of these my kids?
They're all our kids, Terry. Every single one of them.
Oh. So many more than I expected. And he just kind of spins around with his arms out, looking around at all the children. Well, what are you waiting for? Come give your father a hug.
As you say that, number of pale hands with large orb-like eyeballs start to approach you, crawling along the floor, along the ceiling, getting closer and closer, each saying, "I love you, Daddy. I love you, Daddy." And as that happens, the scene fades to black. That's the end of tonight's episode.